RMS Queen Mary, a name synonymous with luxury, grandeur, and now chilling hauntings. This grand vessel, once the pride of the seas, carried the elite and the famous across the Atlantic, offering an unparalleled experience of lavishness and comfort. This majestic ocean liner, once the embodiment of elegance, now sails on a sea of eerie tales and spectral whispers. The ship's transformation from a symbol of luxury to a beacon of the supernatural is a story that has fascinated many, from its construction in Scotland to its final resting place in Long Beach, California. The Queen Mary has always possessed an air of mystery. Built during the golden age of ocean travel, it was a marvel of engineering and design, a floating palace that promised adventure and discovery. But beneath its gleaming exterior lies a darker history, one marred by tragedy, loss, and unexplained phenomena. Over the years, the ship has been the site of numerous accidents and untimely deaths, each adding to its haunted reputation. The Queen Mary's story is not just about the living, it's about those who never left. The spirits of former passengers and crew are said to roam its decks, their presence felt in the eerie silence of the night. Their presence is felt in the ship's haunting atmosphere and in the cold spots and shadows that linger in every corridor. Visitors often report feeling an inexplicable chill, as if touched by unseen hands, and hearing whispers that seem to come from nowhere. It's in the stories whispered by those brave enough to spend a night aboard, hoping to catch a glimpse of the ethereal beings that call the ship home. Paranormal investigators and thrill seekers alike are drawn to the Queen Mary, each hoping to uncover the secrets that lie within its haunted halls. The ship's legacy is a blend of history and mystery, a testament to its enduring allure and the spectral tales that continue to captivate the imagination. The Queen Mary's journey began in the 1930s in Britain. It was a time of luxury and innovation, and the ship was a testament to both. But as the world plunged into war, the Queen Mary's purpose shifted from luxury liner to troop transport. Painted gray and stripped of its finery, it became known as the Gray Ghost, ferrying soldiers across the Atlantic. Life aboard the wartime Queen Mary was a stark contrast to its glamorous beginnings. The once lavish cabins were crammed with bunks. The elegant dining rooms were transformed into mess halls. The air, once filled with laughter and music, now carried the weight of uncertainty and fear. It was during these dark days that the Queen Mary's tragic narrative began to unfold. One of the most harrowing events in the Queen Mary's history occurred in 1942. While sailing under wartime conditions, the Queen Mary collided with the HMS Curacao, a British cruiser escorting it. The impact was catastrophic. The Curacao was sliced in two, sinking within minutes and taking hundreds of souls with it. The Queen Mary, bound by wartime protocols, was unable to stop and render aid. The cries of the drowning sailors echoed in the ears of the Queen Mary's passengers and crew, a haunting reminder of the tragedy. To this day, it's said that the spirits of those lost in the collision still roam the ship, their anguish noticeable in the cold spots and eerie sounds reported near the area of impact. Deep within the bowels of the Queen Mary lies the first-class swimming pool, once a beacon of luxury and leisure. Today, it's a chilling reminder of the ship's haunted past. The pool is said to be haunted by the spirits of two women, each meeting their demise under mysterious circumstances. One is a young woman named Sarah, who drowned in the pool during the ship's heyday. Her laughter is said to echo through the empty pool area, a playful yet unsettling presence. The other is a woman in white, often spotted on the pool deck. Her mournful cries are a chilling reminder of the tragedies that unfolded within the ship's walls. Another hotspot of paranormal activity on the Queen Mary is Door 13, located deep within the ship's engine room. It's here that a young crewman met a gruesome end, crushed to death by the heavy metal door. Those who dare to venture near Door 13 report feeling a cold chill, a sense of dread that washes over them. Some have even claimed to hear the agonizing screams of the young sailor, his final moments replaying in the air around them. The area around Door 13 stands as a grim testament to the dangers faced by those who work tirelessly to keep the Queen Mary sailing. Perhaps the most infamous location on the Queen Mary is cabin B340. This stateroom, once a luxurious accommodation, is now shrouded in an eerie silence, its door permanently sealed. The reason? There is a long history of unexplained phenomena and unsettling events. Guests who stayed in B340 before its close reported experiencing everything from disembodied voices to cold spots to objects moving on their own and even physical contact. The stories became so frequent and unsettling that the Queen Mary's management made the decision to seal the room, transforming it from a luxurious cabin into a chilling reminder of the unseen forces at play. Over the years, countless guests and crew members have come forward with their own spine-tingling experiences aboard the Queen Mary. These stories have been passed down through generations, each one adding a new layer to the ship's haunted legacy. Their stories, ranging from the unsettling to the downright terrifying, weave a tapestry of paranormal activity that continues to fascinate and frighten. From eerie whispers in the dead of night to sudden, inexplicable cold spots, the accounts are as varied as they are chilling. Some guests describe encountering a playful spirit in the first-class lounge, a ghostly presence that seems to enjoy interacting with the living. This mischievous entity is known for hiding belongings, tapping on shoulders, and even moving objects when no one is looking. It's as if the spirit wants to make its presence known in the most playful yet unnerving ways. Others tell of seeing a shadowy figure lurking in the corridors, a dark silhouette that seems to watch from the shadows. This presence disappears as quickly as it appears, leaving those who encounter it to question their own senses. Was it real, or just a trick of the light? And then there are those who claim to have been touched or spoken to by unseen entities, feeling a cold breath on their neck or hearing a whisper in their ear. These experiences leave them forever changed, haunted by the memory of their encounter. It's as if the ship itself holds onto their fear, adding it to its own haunted history. You know, it's interesting to hear these stories. Each one adds a new piece to the puzzle of the Queen Mary's haunted past. While some might chalk it up to imagination or the power of suggestion, the sheer volume of reports is hard to ignore. These aren't just isolated incidents. They form a pattern that suggests something more. It makes you wonder if there's more to these tales than just ghost stories. Could there be a deeper, more mysterious force at work? The Queen Mary continues to be a subject of fascination, its haunted reputation growing with each new story shared. Today, the Queen Mary is a permanent resident of Long Beach, California. This majestic ship, once a symbol of luxury and wartime resilience, now serves a different purpose. No longer a luxury liner or a troop transport, it's now a hotel, a museum, and perhaps most intriguingly, a popular destination for paranormal enthusiasts. The ship's rich history and eerie atmosphere make it a magnet for those fascinated by the supernatural. People from all over the world flock to the Queen Mary, eager to experience its haunted history for themselves. They come to walk the decks where soldiers once marched, and to sleep in the rooms where whispers of the past still linger. They book stays in its staterooms, explore its shadowy corridors, and participate in ghost tours, hoping to catch a glimpse of the spectral residents that make the ship their home. The tales of ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena add to the allure. The Queen Mary's legacy has transcended its maritime past. It has become a living museum, a place where history and mystery intertwine. It has become a legend, a chilling reminder that some stories never truly end. They simply fade into the realm of the paranormal. The Queen Mary continues to captivate and intrigue, a timeless vessel of both history and hauntings. The Mary Celeste. Even its name shakes you to the core. From the start, something about this ship felt off. Launched in 1861, it was originally christened the Amazon, an ominous name for a vessel destined for a dark fate. Bad luck seemed to follow the Amazon wherever it sailed. The first captain died under mysterious circumstances. Accidents plagued its early voyages. Was it cursed? The question lingered in the salty air. Years passed. The ship was repaired and rechristened the Mary Celeste. A fresh start? Not quite. The shadow of the Amazon's misfortune still clung to its wooden hull. Little did anyone know that a chilling chapter was about to be written in the ship's grim history. November 1872, a time when the world was still vast and full of unknowns. The Mary Celeste, under the command of Captain Benjamin Briggs, set sail from New York. It was a journey filled with promise and anticipation. A seasoned sailor, Briggs was known for his devout faith and meticulous nature. His reputation was impeccable. He was a man who left nothing to chance. He kept a detailed log, recording every detail of the voyage. Each entry was a testament to his dedication and precision. He had his wife, Sarah, and their young daughter, Sophia, by his side. They were a close-knit family, sharing the adventure of a lifetime. A family adventure on the open sea. The wind in their hair, the vast ocean before them. It was a dream come true. 7 experienced crewmen completed the ship's roster. Each one was handpicked for their skills and reliability. Their destination is Genoa, Italy. Their cargo, 1,701 barrels of commercial alcohol. The voyage began smoothly. The Atlantic was calm. Hope filled the air. The crew worked diligently, ensuring everything was in order. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. The weather began to change, with dark clouds gathering on the horizon. The last entry in Captain Briggs' log was dated November 25th, a routine entry. There was no sign of trouble. The seas were still calm, and the journey was progressing as planned. No hint of the horror to come. The sky darkened, and the air grew heavy with an unspoken dread. The Mary Celeste vanished into the vastness of the Atlantic. Days turned into weeks. The silence was deafening. The sea, once a source of life and adventure, now seemed like a vast, empty void. Where was the Mary Celeste? The question echoed through the minds of those who knew her. What had become of its crew? The mystery deepened with each passing day. The answer, when it finally came, only deepened the mystery. The ship was found adrift, her crew nowhere to be seen, leaving behind more questions than answers. December 4th, 1872, a date that would forever be etched in maritime history. The Dei Grazia, a British brigantine, spotted a ship drifting aimlessly near the Azores. The sight was unusual and immediately caught their attention. It was the Mary Celeste, a name that would soon become synonymous with mystery and intrigue. Relief turned to dread as the crew of the Dei Grazia tried to signal their counterparts. No response came from the silent vessel. An eerie silence hung over the Mary Celeste, a silence that spoke volumes. A boarding party was immediately dispatched. The men were filled with a mix of curiosity and apprehension. They prepared for the worst, their minds racing with the possibilities of what they might find. What they found was beyond their wildest nightmares. The ship was completely deserted. The Mary Celeste was not a shipwreck. It was eerily intact. It was afloat, its sails partially set, and its cargo intact. The ship seemed ready to sail at any moment. There was no sign of a struggle, no bloodstains, no chaos. Everything was in its place. It was as if the crew had vanished into thin air, leaving everything behind. Personal items, food, and even valuables were untouched. The ship's lifeboat was gone, suggesting a hurried departure. But why? Captain Briggs' logbook remained undisturbed. Its final entry the same mundane note from November 25th. There was no hint of an impending disaster. The mystery of the Mary Celeste had begun, a puzzle that would baffle experts and enthusiasts for generations to come. The crew of the Dei Grazia searched every nook and cranny of the Mary Celeste, their eyes scanning for any sign of life or struggle. Where were Captain Briggs and his family? The captain's quarters were eerily tidy, as if they had just left moments ago. What had happened to the 7 men who sailed with them? The silence was deafening, a void filled with unspoken fears and unanswered questions. There were no answers, only more questions. The ship's log offered no clues, abruptly ending days before the Dei Grazia found her. Food and water were plentiful, enough to last for months. It was clear they hadn't left due to starvation or thirst. The cargo of alcohol remained untouched, with barrels of industrial alcohol still securely fastened in the hold. Personal belongings lay undisturbed in cabins, as if waiting for their owners to return at any moment. It was as if the crew had just stepped out for a moment and never returned. But why? What force could compel them to abandon ship so suddenly? And where had they gone? The lifeboat was missing, suggesting a hurried departure. But to where? The Mary Celeste was more than just an abandoned ship. It was a ghostly apparition adrift in the open sea. It was a maritime enigma, a floating puzzle box with no solution in sight. Theories ranged from mutiny to piracy, but none fit the evidence. The world held its breath, waiting for an explanation. Newspapers speculated wildly, and the public was captivated by the mystery. But the sea, it seemed, was determined to keep its secrets. The Mary Celeste sailed into legend, her story a haunting reminder of the ocean's mysteries. Theories ran rampant. Had pirates seized the Mary Celeste? The high seas were a dangerous place in the 19th century. Pirates were a constant threat, but the evidence didn't add up. The cargo was valuable, yet it remained untouched. The crew's belongings were still in their quarters. Pirates would have plundered the ship, wouldn't they? And what about Captain Briggs and his crew? Experienced seamen don't just surrender to pirates without a fight. The lack of violence, the lack of theft, it all pointed away from piracy. But if not pirates, then who or what had claimed the Mary Celeste? Was the Mary Celeste's fate sealed by something more sinister? Something festering within its very hull? Whispers of mutiny began to circulate. Had the crew, driven by despair or madness, turned on their captain? Captain Briggs was a deeply religious man. Some speculated that his strictness and piety had alienated his crew. Had they snapped? Had they conspired to take over the ship? But again, the evidence was flimsy at best. Briggs was known as a fair and capable captain. The crew was experienced and loyal. Mutiny seemed far-fetched. And if there had been a mutiny, where were the bodies? Where had the mutineers gone? The mystery of the Mary Celeste deepened, its grip on the public imagination tightening. The sea is a realm of myth and legend. What if the answer to the Mary Celeste mystery lay not in logic, but in folklore? What if the ship had fallen victim to something monstrous? Something lurking in the depths? The Kraken, a mythical sea creature of gargantuan size and terrifying power. Could it be? Had the Kraken, tentacles flailing, risen from the abyss and dragged the Mary Celeste crew to their doom? It was a chilling thought, but ultimately just a fantastical tale. There was no evidence of a sea monster attack, no sign of a struggle of such epic proportions. The Kraken, it seemed, would remain a creature of legend, not a suspect in the Mary Celeste case. The sea is a fickle mistress. Could she have played a hand in the Mary Celeste's fate? Perhaps a rogue wave, a towering wall of water, crashed over the deck, sweeping the crew away without a trace. Or maybe a waterspout, a whirling vortex of wind and water, descended upon the ship, sucking the crew up into the sky. Natural disasters were a constant threat to sailors. Could one of these unpredictable events explain the Mary Celeste's abandonment? It was possible, but the lack of significant damage to the ship and the fact that some of the sails were still set all suggested that whatever had occurred wasn't a catastrophic event. The mystery, it seemed, was determined to remain unsolved. The Mary Celeste was salvaged. Its voyage was cut short. It was subjected to countless inquiries, investigations, and analyses. Yet no definitive answer emerged. The ship itself seemed to mock its investigators, holding its secrets close. The mystery of the Mary Celeste became a media sensation. Newspapers around the world ran stories about the ghost ship. Theories abounded, but none held water. Years turned into decades. The Mary Celeste, no longer a ship but a symbol of the unknown, continued to haunt the minds of maritime enthusiasts and armchair detectives alike. It seemed the answer to the mystery lay lost somewhere beneath the waves, buried in the watery grave of the Atlantic. The Mary Celeste remains an unsolved puzzle, a chilling reminder of the power of the unknown, a testament to the enduring mystery of the sea. What happened on that fateful voyage? What became of Captain Briggs, his family, and his crew? We may never know, but the story of the Mary Celeste lives on, whispered around campfires, recounted in hushed tones. A timeless tale of maritime mystery that continues to captivate and intrigue. So the next time you gaze out at the vast expanse of the ocean, remember the Mary Celeste and wonder. The Jamison family was gone. Bobby, Sherilyn, and Lil Madison. They disappeared into thin air. It was October 2009. The family was last seen in the mountains of Oklahoma. They were looking for land. They wanted a fresh start. No one knew what happened to them. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. The mystery deepened. The mountains held their secrets close. The Jamisons were gone, leaving behind more questions than answers. What happened on that fateful day? The small town whispered. Rumors spread like wildfire. Had they run away? Were they in trouble? Or had something more sinister occurred? The unknown gnawed at the edges of everyone's minds. The silence was deafening. Fear seeped into the hearts of the community. The mountains, once a source of beauty and peace, now seemed ominous, threatening. The Jamison family's disappearance served as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the shadows. Deep in the Oklahoma mountains, a discovery sent chills down the spines of investigators. It was the Jamison's truck. It was abandoned. The truck was dusty and silent. Inside, a chilling tableau awaited. Belongings were scattered. It was as if they left in a hurry. There was something else. A large amount of cash lay untouched. Why leave so much money behind? It didn't make sense. The mystery deepened. The truck, instead of providing answers, only fueled more questions. The dog was still alive. It was in the truck too. The poor creature was weak and scared. It was a glimmer of hope in a sea of despair. But the dog couldn't tell them what happened. It could only whimper and whine. The abandoned truck was a cruel tease. It offered a glimpse into the Jamisons' last moments, but the full picture remained frustratingly out of reach. The mystery of their disappearance continued to haunt the investigators and the community alike. Back at the Jamison home, another clue surfaced. It was security footage. The footage was from the day they disappeared. It showed the family packing their truck, but there was something off. They moved like robots, their faces blank. They seemed to be in a trance. It was unsettling to watch. The footage went viral. People offered theories. Were they hypnotized? Were they forced to leave? The footage only deepened the mystery. The footage was like a window into a nightmare. It was cold and emotionless. It was as if their souls were already gone. The unanswered questions echoed in the silence of the empty house. The eerie footage became a haunting reminder of the Jamison family's disappearance. It was a chilling piece of the puzzle, but it only served to make the picture more fragmented and disturbing. The truth seemed to slip further away with each passing day. A massive search began. Volunteers joined forces with law enforcement. They scoured the mountains. They followed every lead. Hope flickered, but it was fading fast. Days turned into weeks. The trail was getting colder. The mountains seemed to mock their efforts. They whispered secrets the searchers couldn't understand. The mystery deepened. The Jamisons were still missing. The community held its breath, praying for a miracle. But as time went on, hope began to dwindle. The search parties grew smaller, their steps heavier. The weight of the unknown pressed down on them, threatening to crush their spirits. The mountains held their secrets close, refusing to yield the answers everyone so desperately sought. The desperate search for the Jamison family became a race against time, a battle against the unforgiving wilderness. Each passing day brought fresh heartache and a growing sense of despair. The mystery of their disappearance continued to cast a long shadow over the community. Theories ran rampant. Some whispered about a drug deal gone wrong. Others spoke of a family feud. Some even suggested something more sinister. The mountains held their secrets, fueling the speculation. No theory held water. The evidence was scarce. The mystery endured. The community, once a beacon of hope, was now a breeding ground for fear and suspicion. The truth seemed lost in the vastness of the mountains. The whispers followed the wind, swirling through the trees and echoing through the empty streets. Each whisper carried a different theory, a different fear. The lack of answers only fueled the speculation, turning neighbors against neighbors and casting a pall over the once peaceful community. The Jamison family's disappearance became a breeding ground for paranoia and distrust. The mountains, once a source of solace and beauty, now seemed to whisper warnings, their silence speaking volumes. The truth, it seemed, was lost somewhere in the wilderness, buried beneath layers of speculation and fear. For years past, the case had gone cold. Then came a gruesome discovery. Hunters stumbled upon human remains. It was the Jamisons. Their bones were scattered in the woods. The news sent shockwaves through the community. The mountains had finally given up their grim secret. But with the discovery came more questions. How did they die? And why? The mystery was far from over. The discovery of their remains brought a mix of emotions, relief that they were finally found, but also a renewed wave of grief and a thirst for answers. The years of uncertainty had taken their toll, leaving the community emotionally drained and desperate for closure. The bones were a chilling reminder of the fragility of life, of the darkness that can lurk in the shadows. The discovery, while heartbreaking, offered a glimmer of hope that the truth might finally be revealed. The cause of death? Undetermined. The elements had taken their toll. The mystery deepened. They were lost and found, yet still gone. Their story became a tragic reminder of the unknown. The mountains, once a place of adventure, now hold a sinister edge. The Jamison family's story became a cautionary tale whispered around campfires. It was a reminder that some mysteries are never solved. The investigation hit a wall. The leads ran dry. The case went cold. The Jamison family's disappearance became another unsolved mystery. Their story served as a chilling reminder that some questions have no answers. The mountains, once a symbol of majesty and wonder, now stand as silent witnesses to a tragedy that might never be fully understood. The Jamison family's story became a haunting reminder that some secrets are lost forever in the unforgiving wilderness. Years later, the mystery still captivates. Theories abound. Some blame a cult. Others point to a meth lab. Some even whisper of a curse. The truth, however, remains elusive. The Jamison family's story became a morbid fascination. It was a real-life horror story that blurred the lines between fact and fiction. It was a reminder that sometimes the scariest monsters are humans. The internet buzzed with speculation. Forums debated every detail. Amateur sleuths emerged, determined to crack the case. The Jamison family's story became a morbid tapestry woven from speculation, fear, and unanswered questions. Their disappearance served as a chilling reminder that even in the age of information, some mysteries remain unsolved. The truth, it seemed, was lost in a labyrinth of possibilities, forever entangled with the darkness that claimed the Jamison family. The mountains stand tall. They hold the answers, but they are not talking. The silence is deafening. It is a weight that hangs heavy over the community. The Jamison family's story is a constant reminder of the fragility of life. Their disappearance serves as a warning. The wilderness can be beautiful, but it can also be unforgiving. The mountains, once a source of peace, now whisper tales of tragedy and loss. The once vibrant community bears the scars of the tragedy. The memory of the Jamisons lingers, a constant reminder of the darkness that touched their lives. The weight of their absence is a heavy burden to bear. The mountains, once a symbol of strength and permanence, now serve as a haunting reminder of the ephemeral nature of life. The silence speaks volumes, echoing the unanswered questions and the profound sense of loss that permeates the community. The Jamison family's story is a tragedy. It is a reminder that even in the 21st century, some mysteries remain unsolved. Their unanswered cries echo through the mountains, a haunting reminder of the darkness that can consume us all. Their story serves as a warning, a reminder to cherish our loved ones and to be wary of the unknown. The The mountains hold their secrets close, a testament to the enduring power of mystery and the fragility of human life. The Jamison family may be gone, but they are not forgotten. Their story lives on, a chilling reminder of the mysteries that continue to haunt us. The mountains stand as silent sentinels, guarding the secrets of their disappearance. And so, the mystery endures, a chilling whisper in the wind, a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the shadows, and the unanswered cries that echo through the vastness of the unknown. Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Even the name makes your heart skip a beat. This isn't just any old hospital. It's a place where the past refuses to die. Built in 1910, Waverly Hills, nestled in the hills of Kentucky, was meant to be a beacon of hope for tuberculosis patients. But hope turned to despair within its walls. Thousands died here, their suffering echoing through the years. Today, Waverly Hills stands abandoned. It's a crumbling reminder of a painful past and a magnet for the paranormal. People whisper about Waverly Hills. They say it's haunted, and not just by any ghosts. These are the restless souls of patients and staff, forever bound to the place of their demise. Visitors tell chilling stories, unexplained cold spots, whispers in the darkness. Some even claim to have seen shadowy figures lurking in the hallways. Yeah, it's true. I've heard those whispers myself. And once, I swear, I saw a shadow move when there was no one there. The morgue, a place where the finality of life is starkly evident, where the air is thick with the weight of sorrow and the echoes of the past. Even in a normal hospital, it's a place of sadness and fear. The walls seem to absorb the grief of those who have lost loved ones, and the silence is often deafening, broken only by the occasional sound of footsteps or the distant hum of hospital machinery. But the morgue at Waverly Hills? This place is different. It carries a history so dark and a reputation so chilling that it has become a focal point for those who seek to understand the mysteries of life and death. That's where the darkness truly gathers. The very air seems to thicken with an oppressive weight, and shadows dance in the corners, as if the past is trying to break through into the present. Imagine the cold, sterile tables where countless bodies have lain, each with its own story and its own end. The metal is unforgiving, a stark contrast to the warmth of life that once was. The sharp smell of disinfectant permeates the air, a futile attempt to cleanse the space of the death that lingers. It's a scent that clings to the nostrils, a reminder of the relentless march of time and the inevitability of our own mortality. Now imagine the spirits of the dead still lingering in that space. Their presence is almost undeniable, a cold shiver that runs down your spine, a whisper in the dark that you can't quite make out. It's no wonder that the morgue is considered one of the most haunted places in the entire hospital. The stories of ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena are numerous, each adding to the chilling reputation of this place. The history of the morgue is particularly grim. During the height of the tuberculosis epidemic, Waverly Hills was overwhelmed with the sick and dying. The morgue became a place of constant activity, a grim reminder of the disease's toll. It's said that the spirits of those who died there are unable to find peace. Their lives were cut short by illness and suffering. They wander the halls, trapped in a loop of their final moments, unable to move on, trapped forever in the place of their final moments. The very walls seem to whisper their stories, and the air is thick with the weight of their unresolved fates. It's a place where death lingers, not just in the physical sense, but in the very essence of the space itself. The third floor holds a particularly sad tale. It's a story that has been whispered among the locals for years, a tale that sends shivers down the spine of anyone who dares to listen. Legend has it that a homeless man and his loyal dog once sought shelter in the abandoned hospital. They were inseparable, a bond forged through hardship and companionship. The man, down on his luck, found solace in the company of his faithful dog. Together, they braved the cold nights and the harsh realities of life on the streets. They say the man fell down the elevator shaft, a tragic accident that took his life in an instant. The elevator, long out of service, was a dark and dangerous place. The man, perhaps in search of a safer spot for the night, met his untimely end in that very shaft. His faithful companion, unable to bear the loss, leaped after him in a final act of devotion. The dog's loyalty was unwavering, even in the face of death. It was a heart-wrenching scene, one that left an indelible mark on the old hospital. Now, visitors claim to hear the phantom barks of a dog echoing through the empty hallways. The sound is eerie, a reminder of the tragic bond that once existed. It's as if the dog's spirit is still searching for his lost master, unable to move on, and see the shadowy figures of a man and his dog near the empty shaft. These apparitions are fleeting, often seen out of the corner of one's eye. They are a haunting reminder of the tragedy that occurred on that fateful night. It's heart-wrenching, really. The story of the man and his dog has touched the hearts of many. It's a tale of loyalty, love, and loss that transcends the boundaries of life and death. People have reported hearing those barks, sometimes late at night when the hospital is at its quietest. The sound is unmistakable, a ghostly echo that gives you the chills. And some have even seen the figures. The man and his dog, forever linked by their tragic end, continue to haunt the old hospital. Their presence is a testament to the unbreakable bond they shared. It's like they're still together, even in the afterlife. Their spirits, bound by love and loyalty, roam the halls of the abandoned hospital, a poignant reminder of a bond that could not be broken, even by death. Many hospitals have their share of ghost stories about doctors and nurses, but Waverly Hills seems to have a resident physician who never clocks out. Witnesses describe seeing a man in a white coat, his face obscured by shadows. He walks the halls, as if checking on his unseen patients. Some say he's the spirit of a doctor, forever bound to his duty, even in death. Not all the spirits at Waverly Hills are said to be sad or menacing. Some whisper about a young boy named Timmy. They say he can be heard, giggling and running through the halls, his laughter echoing through the emptiness. Others claim to have seen a blue ball bouncing down the hallways, as if propelled by an invisible hand. Is Timmy just a harmless spirit, or is there something more to his playful presence? Of all the rooms in Waverly Hills, none are as feared as Room 502. This is where the stories turn truly tragic. Legend has it that a young nurse, driven to despair, took her own life in this very room. Some say she jumped from the window, her screams echoing in the night. Others whisper that she hung herself. Her body was discovered swaying in the breeze. Whatever the truth, Room 502 remains a place of dread, its history stained with sorrow. The story of the nurse in Room 502 is just one of many tragedies linked to this room. Another tale speaks of a pregnant nurse who contracted tuberculosis. Shamed and ostracized, she took her own life within those very walls. Visitors claim to feel an overwhelming sense of sadness and despair in Room 502. Some even say they've seen the ghostly apparition of a young woman weeping silently by the window. One name whispered in the halls of Waverly Hills belongs to Mary Hillenberg. A nurse met an untimely end within the hospital walls. Some believe she contracted tuberculosis and succumbed to the disease. Others tell a darker tale. They say Mary became pregnant out of wedlock and died during a botched abortion. Her death, shrouded in mystery and scandal, adds another layer of tragedy to the already heavy atmosphere of Waverly Hills. Waverly Hills stands as a stark reminder of a time when tuberculosis ravaged communities. The suffering, the loss, the despair, it's all etched into the very fabric of the building. But is it just the weight of history that haunts these halls? Or is there something more? Something beyond our understanding? This is a place where history and mystery intertwine, creating an atmosphere that is both fascinating and terrifying. The very name, Waverly Hills, sends terror throughout the bodies of those who have heard its tales. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying the eerie aura that surrounds Waverly Hills. The building itself, with its decaying walls and broken windows, seems to whisper secrets of the past. The air is thick with the weight of countless stories, each more chilling than the last. The stories, the whispers, the tragic history, it all combines to create a chilling atmosphere. Tales of patients who never left, of nurses who met untimely ends, and of shadowy figures that roam the halls at night. These stories are not just figments of imagination. They are woven into the very fabric of Waverly Hills. As you walk through its empty corridors and peer into its darkened rooms, you can't help but feel a sense of unease. Every creak of the floorboards and every gust of wind seem to carry the echoes of the past. It's as if the building itself is alive, watching and waiting. Waverly Hills is a place where the past refuses to stay buried. The walls are steeped in history, and the air is thick with the presence of those who once walked these halls. It's a place where time seems to stand still and where the past and present collide. A place where the line between this world and the next seems to blur. A place forever haunted. The spirits of Waverly Hills are not bound by time. They linger, watching and waiting. This is a place where the veil between the living and the dead is thin, and where the echoes of the past are never far away. Forever haunted and forever mysterious, Waverly Hills remains a testament to the enduring power of the unknown.